Hey guys, Kiwi here. Today I wanted to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, what they may have planned for season 3, and if a certain few characters will be returning. So I'd just like to go ahead and jump right into the Abigail. It was a major focus in season 2A during the journey to Mexico. They end up leaving it for the compound, and by the time they get back to it in season 2B, it's just completely gone. This leaves the obvious question, what happened to it? It was such an iconic part of the show, at least that part of the show, and it just randomly got stolen, presumably never to be seen again. It does make sense that something that incredible just sitting around would be a huge attraction, and almost anyone would want to take it, as a huge boat with tons of water and supplies would be hard to pass up. They hardly spent any time on it in the show once they found out it was gone. They just instantly go to the hotel and shift focus onto that. And actually, Strand dealt with the loss of the Abigail surprisingly well, and it wasn't a major issue. I suppose he just didn't care anymore, especially after the loss of Thomas. It was just icing on the cake. Some people say that the boat is gone for good, others say that somehow it will make a return. I do recall hearing that the boat was actually quite costly to film, considering they filmed most of it in the same waters as the Titanic, so that may play a factor into the situation. Executive producer Dave Erickson had a few interesting things to say in an interview with Entertainment Weekly just after episode 209 aired. So he goes on to say that the Abigail is like a character that sort of disappears. We did not see her run aground, we did not see her sink, so there is always a possibility that she could reappear. I can take away quite a lot from this little quote. First off, there's the obvious if you don't see a dead body, they aren't dead rule. And as I've said, the Abigail has been a very important asset in the past, to the point that Dave would like to consider it as if it's an actual character, and I am hoping to see a return of the Abigail in Season 3. You could almost compare the Abigail to Morgan from the regular Walking Dead, coming in and out of the story. And I feel like the show creators of Fear the Walking Dead have so many loose ends and possibilities moving forward with the show, that there are honestly quite a lot of variables. They have teased so many future ideas or theories, but what it really comes down to is practicality. They aren't going to do something unless it is convenient for them in the story and it can make some sort of sense. They want to bring back the Abigail, but it depends how exactly they can remix it into the current storyline they have planned out. That being said, let's start looking at all the different possibilities for the future of the Abigail. So one of Fear the Walking Dead's flaws is that there are so many loose ends when it comes to the survivors, and just when you think they've done it enough, they reveal more throwaway characters. Just think back to episode 202 of Fear the Walking Dead. Remember that little boy, what was his name, Harry, and his older brother Seth on that island? We could assume that they just got bitten somehow by one of their family members, but we didn't see it happen. We just kinda left them, and honestly, we've just kinda left quite a few characters in this show, to the point that it's kinda getting a little bit irritating. Because then there's Alicia's love interest, Jack, and the chick Alex from the Flight 462 miniseries, which, by the way, as a side note, I wish it was grouped together into less parts as it would have been more impactful. Anyways, Alex helped play a major role in Season 2A, but her and Jack were abandoned as the main group saves Alicia and continues south towards Mexico. I wish Jack would have just jumped off with her and just joined the group somehow, but this leaves the possibility of Alex and Jack teaming up in some sort of badass duo and following the group to the border. It is entirely possible that Jack and Alex could have somehow followed or tracked the Abigail, eventually finding it and taking it. We'd then see the return of them aboard the Abigail in seasons 3 or 4 in some sort of epic way that relates to the story at hand. The actor who played Jack was also questioned on Talking Dead if we'd ever see him in the show again, and he wasn't able to give a clear answer, but he definitely wanted to say yes. Whether he just wanted to get hired again or whether he knew something is unclear. That out of the way, I'd like to shift focus on Daniel Salazar, Ophelia's father, who we are to think is dead since the mid-season finale of Season 2. I only say this since Dave Erickson, along with many other members of the show, have confirmed that Daniel will return in Season 3. We have no idea how, but we just know it's gonna happen. At first, it was odd hearing that he wouldn't come back for the second half of Season 2, and that they'd make us wait until Season 3 to see him. But now, I see why they do that, as it's supposed to push Ophelia's character forward. Now, their choice to do this and what I think of Ophelia's character right now is a completely separate topic. Feel free to go check out any of my Season 2 videos to hear all about that. But regardless, she is to believe that her father is dead, and this pushes her forward to find her ex-fiancé and make something of herself. So now I'm just trying to find a logical way of bringing Daniel back into the story, and I honestly feel like the creators of the show were at the same stage for quite a while. As I said, they have many lost characters that could possibly be brought into the story at any point as long as it fits. So would Daniel escaping the compound, then traveling back to the Abigail and taking it be logical? Of course Daniel would try to find Ophelia if he escaped, but maybe he passed out or got knocked out or even just takes a while escaping and Ophelia is shown to have already been gone by the time he tries to find her, forcing him to leave on his own, and could have went back to the Abigail right away and taken it before the rest of the hotel group showed up to find it missing. As an added bonus, some people say that Celia is still alive as well, so maybe she's with him too? That's a long shot, but at this point they could do pretty much anything, so it's a good thing to keep an open mind. Another brief idea is that the militia could have had something to do with the Abigail. The militia that was at the end of Season 2 that kidnapped Nick and whatnot, they have helicopters and God knows what else, so it's not impossible that they could have spotted the Abigail and retrieved it. There's literally no evidence suggesting this, so I'll just leave it at that. But I'd like to suggest that it somehow has to come into play with the militia, either with the militia having the Abigail or the militia wanting the Abigail. What do you guys think the most plausible option is? I'd like to believe it would be Daniel, but I feel like he would have left some sort of message for Ophelia in the group, like how the group leaves the message in the stones in the sand. It also depends on what the showrunners have in mind for these loose-end characters. If they have other ways of bringing these characters back into the mix, we might see some of them appear in different ways. There's so many that at least one of them had to have found the Abigail, right? Tobias, friggin' Tobias, I haven't even mentioned him yet, and that is a completely separate, infamous topic to discuss. Now I have to say, I definitely think Season 2 was a good season, and I'm personally looking forward for Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead as well. And although Season 7 of Walking Dead is right around the corner, I still have quite a few video ideas for Fear that might have to get put on the side burner a little while we focus on Negan and all of his shenanigans though. And with that all being said guys, be sure to check back to the channel soon for tons of Walking Dead content. I'd really appreciate a like on the video if you guys have enjoyed anything I've said today, but besides that, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.